Now we're going to start this video off with me telling you some stats and characteristics about an unsaid team, and I want you guys to tell me if this is a championship contending team or not. Now this team has a record of 37-17, and they're sitting at second place in a very loaded Western Conference. When it comes to defensive rating, this team ranks number 6, and when it comes to offensive rating, they rank at number 4. So we have a team that's top 6 in both offensive and defensive rating on our hands. This team is also extremely efficient. They're second in the NBA in field goal percentage, second in the NBA in 3-point field goal percentage, and they're also second in the league in effective field goal percentage. And some other crazy things about this team: they're third in the league when it comes to steals per game, averaging 8 steals per game, while also being number 2 in the league when it comes to turnovers per game, only averaging 11 turnovers per game. So they're stealing the ball at a very high rate while also taking great care of the basketball. And also with this team that we're talking about, they also have a outstanding MVP candidate on their team. So when I tell you all these stats and we look at these characteristics, I don't know about you guys, but this sounds like a championship contending team to me. Now another factor that we can throw in there, which makes some people disagree about this team being a championship contending team or not, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know who I'm talking about, the team that this video is on, the Oklahoma City Thunder. But that factor that changes people's minds on these guys being a championship contender or not is age, because the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are the second youngest team in the NBA, and right now they're doing something that we rarely ever see in the NBA, and that's being so young and playing at an extremely high level. Now when it comes to me personally, now this is a take that just makes 0 sense, and I don't know if this is me being biased because I'm a young person, but I don't think, and albeit I know the game of basketball changes drastically when it's time to suit up for the playoffs, but I don't think this is going to be something that's impossible or even hard for this Oklahoma City Thunder team to adjust to, and I think they're going to be able to adjust to it on the fly. When we look at the way that this team is playing, when we look at the way that this roster is constructed and all of the talent that they have, and then most importantly, I believe they are passing the eye test with flying colors. If we throw everything out, if we throw records and we throw stats out and we just watch the Oklahoma City Thunder play 10 to 20 games, I think we can all come away with that this is a really good team that can win an NBA championship. And when you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's kind of hard to realize that they are the second youngest team in the NBA, because we talked about the way that they take care of the basketball, second in the league when it comes to total turnovers per game. That right there is just not normal for young teams, and I think it really starts at the head with gilgeous-alexander. I think the way that he carries himself and the leadership that he displays does wonders for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it makes a lot of sense looking at the way that Gilgeous was brought up in the NBA and the way that he was developed when he was with the Los Angeles Clippers, playing alongside Patrick Beverley and Lou Williams, 2 veterans in this league. And they also had that iconic playoff series against Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. We fast forward a little bit when he's with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He gets a year with Chris Paul where they unexpectedly make the playoffs. Chris Paul, one of the best point guards, one of the best floor generals, one of the best leaders in NBA history. We can only imagine all the knowledge and all the tools that Gilgeous-Alexander picked up from Chris Paul. So now we're seeing this, and it's flowing through all of these guys on the Oklahoma City Thunder. All of these guys carry themselves really well, and they're really mature. So I'm loving the leadership that we're seeing from Gilgeous-Alexander. And another thing I like to point out when it comes to this topic and when it comes to this debate, I feel like we go back to last season, this group of guys, this nucleus, they have already played in some quote-unquote unideal situations. We go back to when LeBron James broke the scoring record. That was a home game for the Los Angeles Lakers. You guys saw the crowd that game. It was packed out to the brim. Celebrities everywhere, and also nationally televised the entire world was watching, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder, they were able to come out top and defeat LeBron James on the night that he broke the all-time scoring record. That same season, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the same group of guys, the same nucleus without Chet Holmgren because he was injured, but they played 2 play-in tournament games where they did go 1-1, and they ultimately ended up going home. But that's still, in my opinion, even though those games don't count statistically or in the win-loss column, that is still playoff experience because it's played under that same style as playoff basketball. And then we fast forward to this season and we look at those allegations against Josh Giddey. When that news first broke out, opposing crowds was really letting Josh Giddey have it, and I could only imagine how tough that was for the entire team as far as sticking together and blocking out all of that noise. The Oklahoma City Thunder, during that time frame, they were still able to play at a very high level, and we look at them right now, they're sitting at second place in the Western Conference. So I feel like they've been through a lot of things that could test them mentally. So when it comes to the mindsets and the mental stability of the Oklahoma City Thunder, when it comes to adjusting to playoff basketball, I think these young guys are going to be 100% fine because they've seen a lot. And so that's the mental side of things, and now we can also look at what's going to happen on the basketball court when it comes to playoff basketball. Now, I feel like the Oklahoma City Thunder, leading up to the All-Star break, they have shown us that they can win a basketball game in many different ways. They can win running up and down with a high-paced basketball team. They can also be the team that likes to play in the half court and win a defensive style basketball game. They can shoot the lights out. We talked about how they rank second in the league when it comes to three-point field goal percentage. So it's so many different things that the Oklahoma City Thunder can do to beat you in the ball game. So I think they're gonna be fine when it comes to schemes and when it comes to game plans and figuring out how to win those tough games. And I also think these guys are gonna be ready. I think they're gonna be ready mentally as well. Now, the last point I want to look at when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder not being too young to win the NBA Finals this year, this is a clutch basketball team that has some really clutch players on their squad. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have had 18 games this season that qualifies as a clutch game by the NBA clutch game criteria, and in those 18 games, the Oklahoma City Thunder have an impressive record of 11-7. So they've proven that they can win these grind them out games that come down to the last few possessions, and they have 3 guys on the squad that's really clutch, and I think a given is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And one thing that really scares me about him when he's playing against a team that I want to win is that he is so poised, and throughout the entire game, it is his pace. He's never getting sped up, and something that's even a little more scary is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he doesn't really make any facial expressions, and he never seems to be bothered or anything like that. And so far this season in clutch situations, he's shooting 19 of 30 from the field, which is absurd. And he also had that crazy game winner against the Denver Nuggets. So they have a clutch player, a guy that can close games in their MVP candidate for this season. Chet Holmgren has been extremely clutch this season. He's shooting 57% in clutch situations, and so has J-Dub. J-Dub has been crazy in clutch situations. In clutch situations so far this season, he's shooting 11 from 12 from the free throw line. So he's been insane. And speaking of J-Dub, that's another thing that I like about this Oklahoma City team. Each and every game, it seems like he's being more and more comfortable with the basketball in his hands, especially when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not on the court. When he's not on the court, they can go to Jalen Williams to be that guy that can create for himself and create for everyone else. His assist numbers has been through the roof through like the last 2 months. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, that's what's beautiful about having such a young team. These guys are so young, playing at a high level, and it's like they're getting better month to month, week to week, day to day. So we can only imagine how great they're gonna be when April comes around. And I'm so excited for this year's NBA playoffs because it's like in each conference there's like 4 or 5 teams that can win an NBA championship. So I hope everyone stays healthy this year, and it's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be very fun to be a basketball fan when May comes around. So if you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment down below if you agree or disagree, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.